Just. There we go. All right. Let me get these cameras aimed real quick. Does anybody want to run some cameras? We got a volunteer to help with cameras? Yeah. Okay. 1 second, let me aim these real quick.
Push buttons.
Yeah, the red button right now is the camera that's active. So I go 1, 2, 3. And then you can switch over and you can actually see. Yep, you can see which camera it is right here. Hit 2 really quick. Okay, so it stays on the audio of 3. Nice. Let me turn it on.
And one is up. One is above. 2 is there.
Yep.
That is
And you
3.
can see it on the big screen, or you can look at this little screen here.
Okay.
This is going out live. Here you'll see it changes.
So are you going to tell me when to change it?
Change it whenever you feel best.
Okay. I get a princess pin for doing this switch season.
Princess pen?
That is, I've not seen. I need to get some of those.
They got those over at the CU Wood Shop.
Really?
Yep. And the biscuits and all that. Right.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Very short. And it's on 3 right now.
Structural. The back of that one, yeah, one's like a red. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and get started here. Name is John Lambert, turning pen demonstration tonight. And I need to reduce it. Well, reduce it. Service. Thank you. So first up, figure out what kit you're gonna do. And tonight's kit, I've got a motorcycle pin kit. Yep. So it's got a pewter top here. So it's kind of like the Volt action kits in that regard. Let's switch it over to get on there. So yeah, it's like a little piston head. It has the Volt action slider there that extends the pin down and brings it back. Goes down, locks in. Well, I haven't tried this one before, so this should be interesting. I need to get the brass tube out of here. So your kit comes with all the parts to the kit. There should be a spring, ink pen, the ink holder part of it, and a couple of them. What's that? Minus the wood. So set that aside here. Let's see. I don't know if there's a pencil in there. Here it is. All right. So you got to find your piece of wood that you want to use. I'm just going to use this little guy here. Looks like a little piece of walnut. And just kind of take it, figure out how long a piece you need. I usually go about maybe a little bit of an 1/8 on the end here, an 1/8 on this other end. Draw your line right there, and then you would cut it off, and the time could look like I forgot. I forgot to throw my pulse saw in here. So it's a little interesting on this one. I'm just gonna have to leave it off. Want me to pick it up? What's that? Take it up and cut it? Don't they need a badge to access now and cut it? Yeah, we're gonna have to have a badge to use them now. Otherwise, I'd run over there and do it real quick. Um, that probably is too. Yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna turn it off. Okay. Let me lock it into this. This is a little jaw chuck for pins. Lock me in place. Nope. Stop. I guess you need that real quick. I hope that person owns it doesn't mind. I gotta get her loose. He won't turn around. He does it. It'll take about 2 seconds anyway. Yeah, I figured it'd be quicker anyway.
Yeah, right. So you on what button?
That's a nice blade on there. They cut like butter. Like butter. Okay, it cuts like cheese. I've got a little block I can throw it in.
So it smells.
All right, so I put it back here in my little blank chuck here. I can't remember the exact name of it. All right. So what I'm going to do next is drill this out, and there's a couple different ways you can drill it out. I'm going to use the chuck in the end here. You can also use a drill press in the same manner. I got another set of jaws here that are basically the same type. They just a little, they don't expand out quite as far as this one does. And this one is reversible, so you can make it out to like even big uh, bottles. Ooh. The other way of doing it with a drill press, you can use one of these guys. So this is just a little clamp down. You put your piece in there, clamp it down, put it underneath your drill press, drill the hole down it. So it works well if you don't have one of these guys. The only bad part I've found about the drill press is I've got one of those bench top ones, and the throw on the press just doesn't go down far enough. So I usually have to put some kind of blocking under it, like 2x6 or something underneath this, just to raise this up. And I kind of have to turn the drill on and raise it up, get the block under it, then put it down and lower it down and get all the way through there. It can be a real pain. That's why I got this set up, and it works a much better. So this one takes a 10mm drill bit. So I need to address my Jacob's chuck here. It's getting a little dusty. Ow. Bring that up there to the wood. This is some. Let me take my wash off here. don't get snagged, and I also want to swap out the glass. Correct? There's supposedly safety glasses, but they're awful small. Well, you cover the eyes with anti-graded. Going into the wood, just kind of take it slow. Don't just start screeching at you. Back it out and let it kind of cool off. You kind of run into the same little chatter there. Kind of run into the same thing a little bit. Needing to move this forward and get a little more throw in there. Yeah, it feels like I just went through them. All right. Sometimes you get some blowout back there, so you might want to take another piece about the same size and basically put a block behind there just to catch that blowout. Because you're not working with much space there. If you got a acrylic, you really want to take it slow because that heat will end up just blowing the acrylic apart. Never a fun time. It's yeah, especially if you make your own. All that resin used up. So now it's got some pretty good warmth to it. I'll let that cool down for a second. I'll take this off. Get this guy out here. You can probably do the reverse chuck thing, but I don't like doing that too much. Because I like having all my fingers. I don't want to be internet famous like Jerry is for his fingers. Ever. Now this is probably a little warm. We'll just add it. And I need to knock this guy out. There we go. And swap him out with a mandrel saver. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. Mandrel saver helps out a lot. Connect the microphones. The little guy there it is. Pinch that up right there, that'll hold it. All right, take this off. Okay. So here's your regular mandrel. With when you get
We had it.
when you get the kit, you usually get the mandrels, 7mm bushings, thank you. And then the little screw in type at the end here. The problem with this is if you use a regular tailstock, it kind of fits into this little nib here right at the end.
Yeah.
And it can actually flex this if you tighten it too tight. So you want to try to avoid that. That's where this mandrel saver comes in handy. Because if you have a normal one, it's going to fit right on there. Just fit right in that little notch, and it does have the ability to flex. And I've over tightened one before. Kind of wondered why I'm getting so much weird, and I realized, well, yeah, I grill over the darn thing and made a mess. All right, we'll take these two off. I used some old 7mm spacers there just to get this out and away from the headstock. Just to give me some space to work with. I should have brought my little one with me, but I didn't think about it. Okay. But I need to glue this up first. So, what I got here is a medium PA glue. And one thing you always want to keep around with you is some debonder. So this is always handy to have around. Just a bottle of regular debonder. I have glued blanks to my finger before. I was holding them like this in my hand, putting it down in there, and I didn't notice it ran down the side. But, well, I cannot let go of it. Of course, I had a bottle of them. But whenever you're messing with CA glue, doing a finish or anything, always keep this nearby. You may never even hardly use the bottle, but it's there if you need. All right, and so this is medium. I thought I had some full. Thick is better than medium. Now you kind of want to keep from whipping all this in. Should have some towel or something like that here, but fishing for it. I give it a good, kind of good amount on there. And then just kind of work it in. We got about a few seconds of popping in there, and I'll just hold it right there, and whatever excess is dries off. Now we'll give it a little shot of the activator. That will start in on it. Put that up underneath there, let that dry for a minute. While that's drying and setting up, a couple different things that you can do with wood is you can take some of the scraps you got around your shop, and if it's about 5/8 to an inch thick, you can make pen blanks out of it. And I like to find the ones that have got holes through it. And this guy's got a hole all the way through it. I'll take some acrylic, tape off the one side with blue tape, and then pour down in there that acrylic, slice it on there, and have like a feature on that. So when I turn it, it kind of ends up like this guy. So you kind of see him. This was a knot in the wood, kind of similar to that, but much bigger. And that kind of purple in there is from where I added an acrylic to. Also, CA isn't always the best end all finish. If you kind of notice this one, he's gotten so I make focus of it. Doesn't want to, there we go. So you kind of see it's got some whiteness in there. I carried this one around in my pocket for the longest time. And what happened is I forgot about it a time or two, and I went through the washing machine. It'll end up turning that kind of whitish film in there, get into the CA, and it's been dropped a time or two. I beat it up, abused it. Here's one I just grabbed and kept going with. Something to think about if you want to go CA finish. It makes a really nice glossy finish, and it holds up strong, but it's not the strongest. All right, so this guy should be ready to go. Yep, and when I forgot my mill. Okay, we'll go on down here. So I got a little extra on this end. Normally I would just shave it off. For the purposes of the demonstration, I'm just going to move on forward. So this is the bushings for that pen kit. So PK PT 100 BU, which is what the instructions for the pen kit specify. Slide it on one end, work easily on. So that fits like that. The bushings do a couple of different things. They hold it on the mandrel, and they also designate the size fit to the pen. So this bushing, when you get down to that point, that's when you want to stop turning on it. Otherwise, you end up going past the point and you're taking too much off and kind of left with a oopsie. Get these guys back here. Let's do one. Here's the little guys. Mike, I recognize these little guys. Yeah. So this, yeah, should be about right. But I have a little 4-inch one in there. I can really get up right next to it. Should be good. Don't want to go that fast. About 2,000 on a do. Put a little too high. Very good. Now it's just a matter of taking down all the little. And doing all this, you can kind of get wavy, kind of, as long as you can get the ends meeting the bushes, you'll be all right meeting the rest of the pin. The middle of it, you can make some waves, get a little design features in there. I kind of just like making this regular old cylinder. Read extra, one extra over the bushes. What's that? Need to read some over the bushes. So when you sand it, comes back down, yeah. There's a little bit left there. It's close. That end's got a little bit. I got really close on that one. Yeah. It's an oopsie. But these go pretty quick with these. If you're doing acrylics, you really want to go slow because those do tend to build up heat and are more prone to exploding. Let's see here. I'll put this down real quick since that is walnut. Fancy snazzy cement mask here. I could still be able to hear me. Oh, where did that? There you go. Big song. 120. Start out with some 150 here. I like these little guys, nice and handy. I don't have the right side of the disc for them, but this will do. So you kind of see it's looking pretty nice, really. Get it with the 220 real quick. I like this guy because mainly it has a little bit of give to it when you're sanding. I always found that like foam back and something that has a little bit of give when sanding just seems like too much there in the regular sand to go along. All right, so let me grab one of these. I just want to put this underneath the piece right here to protect the leg. Because I'm going to hit it with some Ciego here. And I'll go to this medium. That's it. When you use the sealer glue, don't use any cloth, paper towels, or what you want to use. And I usually I'll get those ones from the store that get half sheets. But this one's actually kind of cut one quarter with also. I'll fold it up like this. Let me get this one in here.
Is that the medium?
Yeah. Just apply to the towel, like so. And give it a little wipe on. Kind of give it a wipe off a little bit there, and about that point it should be setting up, and it feels like it already has. I try not to use the same area twice because at some point you'll just see this thing start smoking. But you can already see it's a little tacky, you know. But you can already see how much of a difference that's made. It really made that walnut pop. You can zoom in here a little bit. Okay.
How do you use the accelerator that way?
Sometimes I will, but right now it's still a bit tacky. But it's what another small guy over here. I got one of the smaller versions of that too now. Of course, this little cap is not going to come out. There's shit. Build accelerator all over. Okay. That is the cool stuff too. What's that? Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Actually, I don't think I really did it now. All right. So when that happens, I'll get the 220 back out, and I'll just give it a little buff off here. This just helps keep it flat and uniform. You can kind of see over here on this side up where that oopsie was at, where I got too low. Take the towel, wipe that off. And just keep repeating until you get the desired thickness you like. It only takes really a couple passes of it to go. And that one is already dry already. That's how fast that'll set up. And I didn't burn, I got the. So let's give that one more. I'm using 220. Gonna get that off, put all the thread off there. Put in a new piece. And we'll apply, I'm just gonna put one more coat on here. I will usually go about 10 coats. I probably don't need to go that much, but I just always like how much I take that in with them. I'll give this one a shot here real quick. That actually kind of works a little better than that spray one. Spray one just blasted everywhere. Oh.
A little strong.
What's that?
So that's a little strong.
Oh, yeah. Let me tap back on here. Let's see how it's. The work part was good. So let's use some Woodshire. Since I don't have bare wood, I'm just gonna use the microfine. I don't know why I tore off another piece. I got two laying out there. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Nice and shiny. How's it look on the camera there?
It's good.
Actually, having the yellow background it makes it help really, really well. We could go a lot more on that, but that's pretty much that finishing on that. Try not to lose your bushings. Now, one thing that'll happen, and I probably do this to myself, really anything else, is the bushings have stuck to the piece because of the CA glue. So what I'll do is I'll tap it, and I'll just, CA glue doesn't hold up well to lateral forces. So if you just take it and tap it, it'll come right off. Now we'll get a bit of rough edge around these edges here. You can kind of see a little bit there. So what you can do is either take a piece of sandpaper, put it down here on your lathe, right there. All right. And then just take it and twist it on that flat surface. That'll help flatten that edge off. Clean it up. And you've got yourself a pin blank. That's on the ceiling now. So what you need to do now is assemble. Okay. Yeah. Gravity's taking over here. That's why you put caps back on everything. Okay. Just move this bad back. So get your pieces out of the package. Be careful not to lose the spring in there, because if you lose that, it kind of messes up the whole thing. Doesn't want to work right. So now I've got a strange little collar in there too that I have not seen before. In pin kits. I'm not entirely sure what that little collar does yet, but I'll look and find out. There's your spring. Save, make sure that doesn't go anywhere. If you do get a little spring like that, you can usually get a cheap click pin and swap it out. I don't know how many times I've done that. So here's the tip of it. I want to take a look at the instructions here just because this is the first time I've done this kit. No, it's a threaded coupler. Threaded. So that's, yeah, that goes up into the sleeve and. Got the back kit. Of course, you got to line your stuff. Yeah. No, thank you. Perfect. When you guys screw that, you go ahead in there, you go line up, check that orientation. Yeah, that's got to fit onto here. And it's acting up because it's got a little bit of goo on the threads on the eagle. Unless I do the wrong direction, and I'll do the wrong direction. So now let's see how that goes. You can do it like this. Press on here, and there are press kits where you can drop this pin into, but you trust the older one. I have used this guy, I don't know how many times, and I just hold them in place. Just press them in. Just take it slow and easy. Yep, just don't tuck it down and just gets you. Very pressed in. That gave me a heck of a blood pressure, please. And then the other end. Fit on here. Put a piece of plastic there. Well, it's not quite, it's a little off on this thing because there's some extra wood there. Back this out. There we go. Just got a holder in there to go get goes. It's probably a little easier to get one of those pin press kits because this guy's dancing all over the place on me. We usually don't have this much problem with them. Should be because it's sticking out so far, it doesn't want to press in. And there she goes. So this should unscrew now. There we go. Take this off, put the spring on, drop it in there. Make sure that this little arm is all the way down. And then put it over the top and screw it back on. And that is one pin kit. And it is a little screwy because I have that extra wood on there, so there's only just a little bit of a point popping out there. I'll have to see if I can fix that when I take it home. But
No way.
that mill it down.
Yeah.
Just pop the ends off again. I probably pull it apart. Maybe. It wants to go, but I'll worry about that.
Could use an end mill.
Yeah, I usually do that, Mike, but guess what? I forgot.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. That's a pin turning. It is one of the easiest ones to start with when you start turning. The first year I did this, I did probably 60 to 70 pins for Christmas presents. I had a sycamore tree go down at my uncle's house, and I went out, cut the branches off, made slimline pins for the whole family.
Convenient.
So that's it. Laying it here. What's that? The hit cut? I don't know what cut. FTB does feed flat.
That is,
Yeah.
John, see that thing you got?